celebrated as they clinched at least a share of their third straight regular season SEC title after their victory over Auburn on senior night. Hello and welcome to Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa for tonight's final SEC regular season meet featuring the 6th-ranked Crimson Tide of Alabama as they welcome the #1 Florida Gators. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Now, Kathy, some breaking news here tonight. Just before the meet, the #1 gymnast in the country, Florida's Trinity Thomas, is out.
And Bart, she warmed up bars beautifully, hopped back up to do one more dismount. When she tapped into it, she slipped right there, had to tuck it around, and landed short on both of those ankles. She put ice on both. She was clearly upset. So in an abundance of caution, they have removed her from all the lineups, and we're just going to hope it's a very quick recovery.
She gets a hug there from her mom, Titania, who is in attendance tonight. So a big loss, although it doesn't appear to be a serious injury for Trinity Thomas. A big loss for them tonight in this final SEC regular season meet. Kathy, we expected drama tonight, but it went to a whole nother level without Trinity Thomas, the #1 gymnast in the country, on Florida's roster tonight.
The stage was really set for a very exciting, dramatic final regular season meet. So no doubt the wind was a little bit out of the sails of Florida, but they have been so focused and calm all year, no matter the challenge. So it's time to step up again.
Alabama is fully aware of the opportunity for the Crimson Tide tonight as Shania Adams will lead them off on vault in this first of 4 rotations.
And we may see 6 10-0 start value vaults beginning with this first. Yurchenko 1.5. Oh, just did the full. Playing it a little bit safe. We saw them once this season go for all 6 1.5s. This is a 9.95 start value. Very nicely done. A little bit of pike in the hips and a hop on the landing.
Quick reminder of the rules in dual meet competition. 6 gymnasts per team compete on each event. The best 5 scores count towards that team total. The team with the highest cumulative score wins. And in this case, Florida is on the bars in the first rotation, and that brings up all-arounder Peyton Richards.
This is a super event for them. Strong, beginning with Peyton. Little leg separation on that first skill. These are the tiny details that as we get close to postseason, they're trying to clean up. They're the #1 ranked team on this event. Double layout. Again, leg separation in the air and a step on the landing. So not quite as clean a routine as she did last week, but still a strong start.
Let's revisit what's at stake here in this competition. If Florida wins, they can outright own that SEC regular season championship, their second consecutive undefeated SEC season. Now, if Alabama can hand Florida its only loss in the conference this year, then Alabama will share the regular season title with Florida. A lot on the line tonight as we go to junior Shallon Olson, who's got a big vault for the Crimson Tide.
Get ready for this one. She warmed it up beautifully and stuck it. A double twist. Oh, not quite like I saw in the warm-up. She landed short and with the chest down. It's about the way she's been doing this vault all season long. I was hoping she'd come up with one. She was a little bit high onto the table. When you come on high, it's really hard to get the complete block you want, especially for a double twist.
She was following Shania Adams, who led Alabama off with a 9.8. Peyton Richards led Florida off with a 9.7. Now, Gabby Galentine is in the lineup. Now, as a result of Trinity Thomas going out, they inserted Gabby Galentine in the second spot, and she is the young freshman from North Carolina.
And this is a gymnast Jenny Rowland really wants to see in this bar lineup. If she can get consistent and comfortable and aggressive, she's a beautiful bar worker. Look at the extraordinary toe point. Nice job fighting through that handstand pirouette on low bar. See if they can get their first stick of the night. Beautiful form on these giants. Double layout. Gorgeous position in the air, just slightly over-rotated and had to hop back. So many pretty elements in this routine. I love the straight body, this really straight leg. She just gave a little too much and absorbed that landing too much. Deep knee bend and had to step back.
As we go back to vault for Alabama, let's focus on what the judges are looking for, Kathy.
Well, of course, the start value of the vault, that's determined by the level of difficulty. A full is a 995. A 1.5 or double is a 10.0 start value. And amplitude, you want to see a change of direction. You want the vault to go up and out. Big height, big distance off of the table. And of course the landing. And a good landing is with the chest up high, not leaning forward, no extra arm swings, and of course, no steps or hops.
Slight delay here as the judges are discussing the score. Shalyn Olsen had a 9.775 after Shania Adams led them off with a 9.8.
Now this should
currently
be
7th in the country in vault. Excuse me, Kathy.
a 1.5 twist. Nice, big vault, great distance from the table. Very good height, just that step. This is a blind landing, so you really have to feel, you have to spot the floor after the full and not whip the head around too fast or too far forward, because that'll over-rotate you.
Ellie Lazzari, the freshman from Wheaton, Illinois. This will be her 5th time in the all-around as just a freshman for Florida. She's coming after Gabrielle Galantine had a 9.725.
And she can be truly gorgeous on this event. Look how straight her body is. And look how she maintains her form throughout the entire skill. Never separates those legs. Maybe
wow.
a ½ inch. I think the ankles came a ½ inch apart, but that's being picky. Legs glued together, toes pointed all the way through to the half in, half out. Just a little hop in place.
Take a look at the series history. I find this fascinating between Florida and Alabama. You can see Alabama leads 74-47. Florida won the last 3 dual meets, but get this, Florida has only 2 wins in dual meet competition in Tuscaloosa, going all the way back to 1979. So Alabama protects their home turf better than most. Luisa Blanco now up for the Crimson Tide.
This is a 1.5 twist as well.
Oh.
Wow, look at that landing. She has such great kinesthetic awareness. She knows where her body is, and look how she stays stretched. Tight knees all the way around, no movement of the feet on that landing. Well done.
Coming after Maddie Walagora had a 9.85. Megan Skaggs, the senior from Marietta, Georgia, coming up now. You see her average 9.906 on bars this year.
Not only is Megan so experienced in competition, she is spectacular on this event. Her technique is superb. She maintains form throughout all these big skills, and she can get the stick on the landing. She needs to show those freshmen, this is how you fight for it. Get the shape in the air and find it. Look like a little bit of a scoot back on the landing. She does so many of these skills exceptionally well. Look how high and how she rotates that Tkachev and reaches out with completely straight arms on the regrasp. Absolutely love that. Little loss of leg form in the double layout. They just come slightly apart.
For her, by the way, Ellie Lazzari got a 9.825. Back to Alabama on the vault. Luisa Blanco, a 9.925 career high. And this brings up a huge vaulter in senior Lexi Graber.
This is as big a 1.5 as you will see. She flies to the table and launches herself up and out. Very few gymnasts get the same amplitude and especially the distance as Lexi does. She really uses the speed on her run to keep that momentum, get that block off the table. Just the step on the landing will be the deduction.
Megan Skaggs had a 9-9 on uneven bars. That brings up Alyssa Baumann. We have documented her story, of course, 4.5 years without doing the uneven bars. Now, in her senior year, she has become a mainstay for the Gators on bars, Kathy. And her work here is impeccable, isn't it?
It's beautiful. The routine is spotless. Her form is exquisite. If she can get the timing of the release on the dismount and stick a landing, this can be huge. Look at those feet, completely pointed, and she maintains the straight legs, the toes pointed, legs together, and she can show off a handstand so beautifully. Right here, if she can get those legs up, get the feet up on the release. Ow, took it a little.
Oh.
Yep, way out. Oh, that's too bad. She released a little soon, and she has a little trouble with this dismount and just getting the timing and getting the feet up before she releases. If you release and you're still going out, couldn't quite get that rotation.
Missed opportunity there for Florida for sure. Haley Quinn will be the final vaulter for Alabama. Lexi Graber at 9.875.
Haley's going to anchor this vault line up with a 1.5 twist. Okay, a good vault, very good vault. A little bit of a deep knee bend on the landing, but showed good control. And the advantage of doing this most difficult vault, the more difficult vault, you get a 0.5 tenth higher start value than those doing the full.
Trinity Thomas on the sidelines. You see her current NCAA event rankings. Not only is she the #1 gymnast in the all-around, she's #1 on floor and bars, tied for 3rd on vault and 4th on beam in a tie. Now she's out because they had an injury in the warm-ups, and as you can see, she's standing there. She's got ice on her ankles. It doesn't appear to be serious, but that's what Florida is without tonight. So extra pressure on their lineup, and their anchor performer tonight is Savannah Schoenherr.
And this is a gigantic routine for Florida. It has everything in it. Monstrous amplitude on that release move. Beautiful form. She has been chasing at 10 on this event since last season. Has worked on all of the details. Now that is a handstand. Right on top of the bar. Little beyond handstand on the blind change.
Nice.
But wow. You see how high her chest is on that landing? It's a very difficult dismount, double front with a 1/2, and it is done so well. Look at that handstand. And the dismount is huge. She just missed that blind change right into the handstand, but superb control on the double front.
And a huge pressure routine after the Alyssa Baumann score of 9.2. Expect a big score for Savannah Schoenherr on bars. Haley Quinn, the final vaulter for Alabama, had a 9.85. So that wraps up the first of 4 rotations. A lot of drama in Tuscaloosa tonight and a lot at stake. More on that when we come back. The 4 rotations. Alabama with a 49.3 on vault has the lead over the #1 team in the country, the Florida Gators. Everybody, I'm Bart Connor, along with my fellow Olympic medalist Kathy Johnson Clark, broadcasting from our respective homes. Boy, a lot of changes in the last few minutes before the competition with Trinity Thomas going out. It's going to add an extra layer of drama to this entire competition tonight, Kathy.
And Alabama just put more pressure on Florida by they were just sharper in that first rotation. So it has clearly rattled Florida a little bit, having Trinity Thomas out of the lineup and because of the way it happened. But what I found most impressive about Florida thus far this season is how prepared they were, and then how calm and focused and confident they have been no matter what. They need to tap back into that.
Here's a meet summary. Alabama with a lead of .225. Florida with the lowest bars team score since the season opener. Last time we saw Trinity Thomas competing for them on the bars. She scored a perfect 10. In fact, one of 2 perfect 10s that she scored last week. So without her in the lineup and with a mistake, Florida has dug a little bit of a hole for themselves here in Alabama. Once again, what's at stake? Well, if Florida wins, they are the outright SEC regular season champion, and that'd be their 2nd consecutive undefeated SEC season. Now, if Alabama could win, they would share the title of the regular season SEC champions along with Florida. There is Jenny Rowland, the head coach at Florida in her 6th season. Look at this. The team is ranked first on all 4 events, a rarity in NCAA gymnastics. The only team in the NCAA to score more than 198. They did it twice, and the lowest score this year so far, a 197.25. So a win tonight for them, once again, secures the outright SEC regular season title. Dana Duckworth in her 7th season. Alabama top 10 on all 4 events. The 3 highest team scores in the last 3 meets. So they are building up to this moment a huge opportunity, and they have a chance to claim a share of the SEC regular season title if they can hold on over Florida tonight. It's senior night here in Tuscaloosa, and a big salute to Alonza Cloffer and Lexi Graber, these 2 young ladies, academic honor roll students, and of course they've contributed so much to this iconic program here at Alabama. And they had a great video presentation before the meet with some messages from their friends and family. A very emotional night for these 2 young ladies, and a huge opportunity for the Crimson Tide. Jasmine Faubourg, now she's not in the lineup very often. I think this is only her 3rd time in the vault lineup, but once again, because of Trinity Thomas going out, Faubourg gets the call tonight, Kathy.
And the key is they have got to be sharper on these landings
That's
that.
Good.
Well done. Great start for Florida. It's exactly what they need to do. That's a 995 start value, but you maximize the score by minimizing the deductions. Very nice technique, good height, decent distance from the table, and of course that all-important landing.
985 is her season high. Expect a good score there in that leadoff spot for her. Maddie Walagora will lead off Alabama on the bars, and she has made huge contributions to the Crimson Tide this year. She's just a sophomore. She didn't compete at all her freshman year because of an ankle injury, and she has been crucial to this team, Kathy.
Absolutely, and bars has become such an important event for them. They are 4th in the nation. Lost her. That was. She must have been out on those fingertips a little bit and could not connect those 2 skills. Took an extra swing. It's less of a deduction than a fall, but it's a big deduction. Too bad. She has been so consistent for them, and I love that dismount. It's one of the most difficult dismounts, and as well done as you can possibly do it. Full twisting double layout.
Some fluky things going on tonight after the fall from Trinity Thomas. That was just odd that perhaps she didn't get her dowels over the top of the bar, did she?
It's hard to say because it looked like it was fine, but clearly not.
She had a 9.9 last week. Now, Ellie Lazzari coming up now after Jazzy Faubourg led them off with a season-high 9.85 for her.
Look for super clean form. Nice laid-out position. Wow, what a landing. This is exactly what Florida needed to do, is to refocus on those details. That's what's made them so good all season long. Look how straight her body is, and she opens out and finishes that full in the air with the arms out, hips completely open. Very well done.
Lexi Graber will be next up for Alabama on the bars.
Lexi has improved on this event. Her form is good. Her technique is so solid. If she can just keep those legs together on her release move on the high bar, one of the only deductions I really see in this routine.
All of her events, she has season highs well above 9.9. This is the only event where her season high is a 9.85.
Needs to attack these handstands, get them right on top of the bar. Here comes the Ginger. That's perfectly together, those legs, and then just separates a little bit right as she regress. He'll take a little deduction there, but everything else is spot on. Good job on the handstands. Little leggy in the air. Doesn't quite keep that perfect form and took a step on the landing. But right here, if she can keep those knees together and those feet together at the very end of that dismount, those are the little things she can tidy up.
Back to vault now for Florida. Megan Skaggs will be up now. Ellie Lazzari, a season high 9.9. So Florida doing a nice job in their first two vaults. Terrific landing control.
This may be the prettiest Yurchenko vault in the NCAA. She opens that up, shows that layout position. Now the judges sit right on the side, so I'm gonna love seeing this from the side. She was a little bit later in opening up her hands. Normally those hands go way out, but look at the distance, great distance and no movement on that stuck landing.
She earned the stick chain that Florida passes to their athletes who stick landings. 3 good sticks on vault so far for them. Kathy, the points of emphasis on the bars.
Well, handstands have to be vertical or within 10 degrees for no deduction. Slight leg separation there. That was a release move. Going from bar to bar with those releases and single bar release moves. She has 3 difficult flight skills in this routine. Nice routine, good control on the landing, just slight little leg separations. But they were on the really difficult elements in that routine. I love the combination of difficulty throughout this routine. And nice job on the landing.
That was Cam Machado coming after Lexi Graber had a 9.825. Back to vault now for Florida. Megan Skaggs had a 9.9. That brings up Savannah Schoenherr,
who warmed up so beautifully. She can stick this vault, and it's a 1.5 twist. Just brought her head forward and dropped her arms a little bit. Didn't quite get the stick on the landing. Nice job with the technique. It was a little bit, she was ahead of herself. She didn't quite get that big block, big complete block that I saw her get in warm-ups. She was kind of rushing ahead to the landing.
Alabama's MVP this year is without a doubt Shania Adams. She's just a freshman, but she's been in the all-around in every meet but one. But in terms of scoring, she has been the biggest contributor to this lineup.
She has been gold on uneven bars. She is so consistent. Beautiful positions in those handstands. Very difficult transition from low to high. It's called a Van Leeuwen. Tuck double back, way to fight for that landing. You can tell that Alabama is so pumped up for this meet. They are going aggressively for these handstands and the landings.
Quick reminder of the rules: 6 athletes compete, the best 5 scores count. So Alabama is trying to recover from the 9.35 from Maddie Wallagora. So extra pressure for the Crimson Tide on bars as we go back to vault. Schoenherr's score is in at 9.85, and that brings up Nia Reed.
And she can travel from the table so far. So think amplitude, watch the height, and most important, the distance on this 1.5.
Season highs at 9.925.
Wow! I love to see her open it out. When you have time to finish the 1.5 twist, open those arms and wait for the landing. You've got the best chance at a stick. Do you see that rainbow position, that tight arch as she's reaching for the mat for that landing? Very well done.
Shania Adams' score is in now for Alabama. 9.925 season high, and that brings up Luisa Blanco.
Watch this combination. Maloney to Pax Salto. Beautiful leg form. And that was an excellent handstand half pirouette on the low bar. So many gymnasts rush past that and don't show that handstand after the pirouette. So well done. Look at the form in the air. Gorgeous. Full twisting double back, knees together, feet together, toes pointed.
Not many gymnasts are elegant on the uneven bars, Kathy, but she is.
No, I have a lot of boxes to check, and I just checked them all on this routine. That is beautiful.
Meanwhile, Florida doing an outstanding job trying to come out of that hole they put themselves in at that first rotation. Naya Reid a 9-9, and that brings up Peyton Richards. So look at the scores for Florida on the vault.
And I am flashing back to her stuck landing last week. If she can come out with that here. Oh, just did the full, but got a stuck landing. Well done. So it's that risk-reward decision you have to make in terms of whether you do a full and go for perfection, slightly easier to stick, don't give anything away, which is what they chose to do with Peyton Richards. Little hop in place. It's almost like a little pogo stick that popped up about a ½ inch.
Akari Doggett now for Alabama after Luisa Blanco, a career-high 9.95. This is a huge routine because they want to replace the 9.35 from earlier in the lineup.
Watch her milk the skills in this routine. Really shows them off. Go! Yeah, I think if she had just pirouetted, she would have been able to save it possibly. Unfortunately, slight break there. She kept form though, just redid the skill. Gorgeous double layout, just a step on the landing. I thought she'd get that stick. It's the one hard thing to do. She lost. If she had just turned, maybe she could have pulled that back. I've seen gymnasts be able to do that. That's the way you wanted it done the first time. So they'll take a deduction for having to repeat that.
A missed opportunity there for Alabama on the bars, but when we come back, Trinity Thomas, we spoke with her earlier in the week, and unfortunately she's out of the competition tonight, but we'll have that interview when we come back. Florida tonight is without the #1 gymnast in the country, Trinity Thomas, on the sidelines with an ankle injury, but last Friday she dazzled with a pair of perfect 10 performances, first on the uneven bars, showing her trademark exquisite technique and form. Then she capped off her night with a second 10 on the floor with sublime power and grace. She became just the second Gator with 2 10s in a single meet and the first since Alex McMurtry in 2018. Trinity, 7 career 10s, 2 on bars, 2 on beam, and 3 on floor. Now, earlier this week, Kathy spoke to Trinity about her 2 perfect 10s.
Very few gymnasts know the feeling of scoring a 10 in their career. Last meet, you were awarded a pair of 10s. Can you tell us, mere mortals, how magical and wonderful that feels?
Yes, that definitely feels so cool. I've worked so hard, and so to go out there and really just for it to all to come together in one meet is really cool.
Now, you have the opportunity to join a very exclusive Gym Slam Club, 10 on each event, and you've been chasing that vault landing all season, so I imagine it'll be pretty sweet whenever it happens. What advice would you give young gymnasts out there who are dreaming of those 10s someday?
Honestly, it all starts now. Wherever you are, it starts now. Wherever you are starting, that's your starting point, and you keep pushing, keep moving forward, and you focus on all the little things, and you just keep working, and you can get there.
This past year has been truly like no other, from the pandemic to racial and social justice issues being raised and addressed in powerful ways. Someday, when you look back on this season, what will you remember and be most proud of?
I think honestly, I'll just be most proud of my team and the way that we've come together in spite of everything, and the way that this team has stood up for what we believe in as a team and individually. I just think that's so special, and this is a special group of girls, coaches, staff. It's really amazing.
So one last question, and this one just popped into my head. How is your book going?
So me and Hallie, I didn't even know you guys knew about that. But me and Hallie were thinking of writing a little children's book, and It's going pretty good. It's really cute, and I just thought it would be really nice to do something for, all the little skater fans too. So.
Tuscaloosa, number 1 Florida against number 6 Alabama after the second rotation. Alabama's lead has been cut to .15 over Florida. Luisa Blanco from Alabama tied season high scores on vault and on even bars in that rotation. This is going to be a big one because the Crimson Tide now moves to the balance beam, which is often the most critical event in women's collegiate gymnastics. And they have a slight lead over the number 1 team in the country. Battle of the beam, Kathy. We talked about this earlier in the week, and you said, yeah, I can't wait to see this.
And that was before all the other drama happened in this meet. So it's really stepped up. Alabama will have the first opportunity in the Battle of the Beam, and they can throw down the gauntlet if they can just nail those routines.
5 gymnasts scored 9.9 plus this season. And you see their NCAA ranking. They're number 4 in the country. And of course, Florida is number 1 in the country in all 4 events.
Alonza Kloffer has become such a consistent, rock-solid balance beam starter. It is just money when you can find the athlete on your team that embraces this kind of pressure, this position that really starts everything off. Nice job on these leaps. Look how aggressive and calm she is as she moves from one piece of choreography to the next and in and out of the elements. So solid so far, fulfilling all of the requirements on beam, the acro series, the leap series. And at this point in the season, you really want to start looking for those who go above and beyond. You want to look for skills that are higher than everybody else. Oh, just the hop on the landing. The rest of the routine is probably as well as she has ever performed that routine.
Alonza, a senior, and the only event she's competing in tonight for the Crimson Tide. It won't be her final performance here in Tuscaloosa, however, because recently, the other day, it was announced that Alabama will be hosting one of the NCAA regionals. So she'll have one more time here in Coleman Coliseum in her senior year for the Crimson Tide. Megan Skaggs will be on floor for Florida. In this rotation, Florida trails by 15/100ths of a point behind Alabama.
Megan has one of the most expressive routines in the NCAA, and I love that she dares to be different using jazz music, and the choreography just fits her like a glove. Opens with a Rudy to a split jump. That was well done. Watch how she pushes through her feet, goes up on high toe in that releve. Shows off some of the most beautiful shapes in those leaps. Full 180-degree splits because she goes beyond. She doesn't oversplit. Strong finish with a back 1.5 to a front layout. Beautiful routine. That's the best of her season. Showed so much control. Now, she's not going to do the big tumbling passes. She has some fragile ankles. It's just so wonderful to see her in the floor lineup so she can show off her ability to dance and the musicality that she possesses. It's wonderful.
Back to beam, Maddie Walagora will be up next after Alonza Kloffer led them off with a 9.875. A quick reminder what the judges are looking for on beam, Kathy.
Difficulty and amplitude on the dance and acro skills, and of course the form in them as well. The connections, combining those difficult skills to earn bonus points, and of course balance, perfect balance. Anything that varies from perfect are slight deductions. Balance beam workers need such strong feet, great kinesthetic sense to know where that center of the beam is, keeping their center of gravity right over the beam, and then those strong feet on the landing. Nice job squaring up that side aerial. Jump to a tuck jump full. There's that slight balance break. The small check, but a slight deduction. Took a little bit of extra time before that dismount. Oh, and under-rotated and took a step back. I can see just a little bit of nerves that crept in at the very end. When a meet is this close and so much is on the line, balance beam can be tricky because you have to stay aggressive and not underdo something. You can't try too hard. You have to be normal and trust your training.
Next up on floor for Florida, Ellie Lazzari. Megan Skaggs led them off with a 9.85.
Ellie is such an elegant gymnast, and this is an event where she can show off her really straight legs, her beautiful flexibility, and the training that she has to really maintain the toe point throughout. Light double back, a little bit of a bounce back. That'll be a slight deduction. Back 1.5 to front layout to very pretty stag jump. Very difficult leaps and jumps. Anytime they do the turn in the air while they're in the split position, they're more difficult. Strong finish with the double back and tuck position. And a very elegant and dynamic finish as well. Beautiful. All the gymnasts have to do a combination pass, 2 different saltos in the routine. She did a back 1.5 into the front layout.
Shania Adams, she said to Coach Jenny Rowland this week that she's so grateful that, to Coach Dana Duckworth, she's so grateful that she trusts her. I think that's a wonderful comment about what culture they're building here with this team in particular at Alabama under Dana Duckworth.
Well, freshman year is a journey, and she opened the season with a spectacular meet. But getting used to competing. As I was going to say, competing every single weekend, it opens up the possibility to not be perfect. And it's really hard for gymnasts sometimes to not let perfect be the enemy of good, and you can get a little too much into your head. Well done. So wonderful seeing her come back after a fall, do a very difficult wolf turn, and look at her regain her composure. And this is the journey of a freshman. She's a talented gymnast. She has so much to offer this team. Gorgeous position in that split jump. So, and every great coach knows you have to trust your athlete. They will work through these little issues if you just believe in them. Look at her fight and get that landing. Well done. Yes, the fall will cost them, and it puts some pressure on the rest of the lineup. She didn't quite just... Every sequence has a setup, follow through, and finish, and you have to attack all 3 of those just as aggressively.
An important opportunity here for Florida. Last Well, our exercise competition for this young lady this year was back in the second week of the season. Sydney Johnson-Sharp is in the lineup today as a result of Trinity Thomas going out with that ankle injury prior to the competition.
And this is a wonderful opportunity. See a really fun routine. Opens with a double Arabian. Look at the control. She's been out with a little bit of a hip injury, so I know she's excited to be back in the lineup here. Back one, oh! Ooh, she fought and saved that. But that second somersault was definitely short.
Sydney is the daughter of 1988 Olympian Brandy Johnson.
This choreography is so rich with goodies. Sydney loves to dance, loves to perform. Needs a strong finish here. Double back. Way to attack that final pass. So a little bit of trouble on the middle pass, but the rest was so well done and so fun. Right here, she just missed time. She was slightly under-rotated on that 1.5, and pretty amazing she pulled it around, so good for her.
A less talented athlete would have not stayed on her feet. Good for her. As we go back to the beam now for Alabama, Lexi Graber, extra pressure now because of the score. 9-3-5 is in for Shania Adams. Everyone else must hit if they're going to maintain that lead over Florida in this third rotation.
And this is what every great beam team works toward, to be able to handle this kind of pressure, because trust me, they're going to feel this pressure again, even when they are hitting every single routine. It will build at regionals, well, first at SEC championships, then regionals, and then NCAAs. This is where you get tough. That was so lined up perfectly. She kept those hips, shoulders square to the beam. When you watch these routines, you can see all of the hard work. You can see the training that has been instilled in them from day one, but also just the work this season. Because this is a team that has improved every single meet. Love this skill. She does it so nice. Well. It's hard to control that front toss to the scale right into her dismount. Okay, I love that finesse. Her chest was a little low, but she handled it so beautifully. Maybe the judges missed it. I don't know. Just nice combination. Great concentration throughout this whole routine. Just slightly forward with the chest, but great finesse to show off a nice college stick.
Come on, it's senior night. Give her a break. Come on, judges. All right, back to the floor now. Peyton Richards, you see the scores so far for Florida. Very strong on this event where they're ranked #1 in the country.
For all you rock fans out there, you're gonna love this routine and music. Double layout. Nice job trying to get that chest up. She was a little under-rotated, but she covered it well. Beautiful position in that front layout. Slightly off kilter on those leaps. You really have to have even height of both legs in those split jumps. Nice amplitude on that tuck double back. Well done. Oh, I love that smile at the end. So these leaps were a little bit off kilter and a slightly underdone, so I think the judges are going to have to take some deductions there, but this was fantastic. Good height.
Kari Doggett now coming after Lexi Grabers, 9.825. Doggett, by the way, on bars had a 9.75. She's typically very aggressive and fun to watch here.
This is really a treat to get to see the #1 and #4 beam teams in the nation in a tight contest. Look at how calm and aggressively she attacked the landing of her acro series.
Had a major knee surgery back in May. She's still nursing that injury a little bit. You'd never know.
Very difficult leap, that switch leap with a half turn. Judges are getting a little bit more picky in terms of getting the full split and the full half turn in the air before they land. Side aerial to the full. Good fight on those landings. Sometimes when you do these dismounts and you're really fighting for the landing, you can get your chest just a little bit low. You got to really keep that head up and try to sell the chest up position as those feet don't move.
This meet is getting closer and closer as Nia Reed takes to the floor. You see her NQS, that's her national qualifying score, puts her currently tied for 4th in the NCAA.
And she can light up this routine. Big double layout, that's the control you look for. Notice how that front foot did not move a smidgen as she stepped into her lunge, not a bit. Layout to Rudy. Pretty good job on those leaps. You want to see a clear picture in the air of the shape required in each jump. Pike double back. Look at the height and the chest up high on that landing. Wow, the landings in this routine were really excellent. The judges watch the 2 feet landing here, and when you step into the lunge, which you're allowed to do, you got to keep that front foot planted. Nice open position in the 1.5 twist. And look at the height in the air, but watch the chest, how high up it is. Straight up and down on that landing. Well done.
Score in for Makari Doggett, a 9.875. Lots of pressure on this young lady who can certainly handle it, Luisa Blanco.
We are lucky to have some incredible beam workers across the nation. Luisa is one of the most beautiful natural beam workers in the country. Notice how she covered that, what would have been an off-balance move. She stepped out of that full turn, kept it moving. Triple series here, very difficult. 2 layouts, so straight, and most important, those legs stay completely straight and toes pointed in flight. Exquisite flexibility. Look at the amplitude on those leaps, the full split. And the reason we see that split is she goes beyond into an over split. So our eyes register that gorgeous shape. That is poster ready. Hang it on the wall. Double twist,
nice.
whoa! And pull those heels together. Thank you very much. Love it. That was so exquisitely performed. Showing split, showing perfectly straight legs, perfectly pointed toes throughout. And then look at the high releve. The details in this routine are truly spectacular, and she didn't move those feet. Well done.
And such a clutch performance. They were trying to recover from the 9.35, and now they got 5 big scores on beam. Kathy, you said it earlier, the battle of the beams tonight. And we'll see Florida on the beam in the next rotation. But right now, coming after Nia Reed's 9.95 is Alyssa Baumann, who herself has scored 9.95 on this event this year.
This is such a dramatic routine. I really like the music and choreography. Such great amplitude on her tumbling. Her specialty are the leaps in this routine. After this middle pass, you'll see them. Back 1.5, front full. Like to see that difficulty when they twist both those somersaults.
Score just came in for Luisa Blanco. It's a 9.925.
Look at those leaps. Oh my gosh. I think they get higher and more split as she goes.
Florida can take the lead going into the 4th rotation if Baumann can score 9.95 or higher right here.
Beautiful pike double back and gorgeous control. Wow, good for her to come back. Remember, she had the miss on bars. Did more than her job here. She outdid herself. Look at these leaps, like just beautiful shapes in the air. And perfect form in the air, toes pointed. You should get bonus for that.
We'll wait for her score to see if Florida can take the lead going into the final rotation. This we anticipated was going to be close, but of course with the drama of Trinity Thomas going out before the meet with that slight sprained ankle, extra pressure on all of these athletes with so much at stake. Alabama, if they could beat Florida tonight and hand them their first loss, they would share the regular season SEC title with Florida. Thomas has been on the sidelines cheering on her teammates' every move. .9975 for Alyssa Baumann, which means that Florida will take the slight lead going into the 4th and final rotation. We have a great one here tonight in Tuscaloosa. Don't go away. Hi everybody, I'm Mark Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. So much drama tonight and so much intensity with these athletes because there's a great deal at stake, isn't there?
I'm so excited
I can't impresses you?
I can't even talk straight up, so excited. Before we even go on, a shout out to both these teams because they have had extraordinary seasons. So even before we get over to the second half of Battle of the Beams, I have to say that. And you're right, it sets up an incredible postseason.
Why don't you take us through the national standings as they are right now?
Well, we had a little bit of a shuffle once we went to NQS. Oklahoma leapfrog LSU an inch closer to #1 Florida. Alabama moved up 1 spot to #6, and Arizona State moved all the way from 17th to 7th, passing Arkansas. who dropped to 8th, and UCLA moved in to the top 10. It's going to be exciting.
Now you notice 4 teams in the top 10 are from the SEC. And that sets up the 2021 SEC Gymnastics Championships. They're going to be just 2 weeks from now. This year they're coming to you from Rocket City, Huntsville, Alabama. We'll have both sessions for you live here on the SEC Network on Saturday, March 30th. Action starts with session 1 at 3:30 Eastern and concludes with session 2 beginning at 8 Eastern. Both are on the SEC Network. Back to Tuscaloosa, these two teams separated just by 5/100ths of a point going into the final rotation. And a quick reminder, what's at stake. Now, if Florida can win, they will be the outright SEC regular season champion. If Alabama wins, they will share the regular season title with Florida because both of these teams will have 1 loss in the conference, and the regular season SEC title is awarded based on the win-loss records. Peyton Richards up now for Florida.
Starts with this triple series, very difficult. This Florida team has been so impressive on this event all season long. And fortunately for them, they are very deep. So replacing Trinity Thomas last minute in this competition, they have the routines to put in. You can see the calm, deliberate execution of every skill. Side aerial to the full. I could see her take just like an extra split second there to concentrate on that final skill and dismount. They don't want to give away anything.
Sania Mitchell, the junior from Tuscaloosa. As a little girl, she dreamed of competing for the Crimson Tide in her hometown, and here she is. And they're in a close battle with the #1 team in the nation, a lot at stake. And here she goes. Her season high is a 9.9 on this event, Kathy.
Alabama is ranked 10th on this event, so they haven't quite hit their stride on floor exercise. They can start here by trying to find all of these landings, a little bit of a scoop back. And I know Coach Duckworth was working so hard in the warm-ups on all of her gymnast leaps, trying to get them to hit the proper shape in the air and be very precise. Front through to a double back, very difficult final.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What a save.
That was a deep, deep landing, deeper than I think she wanted. At least she didn't step and give away 1/10 of a point on that, but they will take a deduction for a low landing. Watch her knees just bend too far, so that's a low squat. She showed off the lunge after it.
Battle of the Beams continues. Florida leads the NCAA in this event. Look at that national qualifying score, 49.656. Highest score in the NCAA last week was a 49.7. We were there to see it. And 5 gymnasts have scored 9.95 plus this season for the Gators.
And one of the things that Coach Jenny Rowland does so well is just the details. Every aspect of these routines she has put under a microscope to get those legs straight, those toes pointed.
Peyton Richards had a 9.875 to lead them off.
Here's her acro series, back handspring, layout, step out. Very confident. Beautiful job on the front aerial. Lead to the switch side. I can definitely see in their face that the stakes are high here. You can see the breathing that is choreographed into these routines to find the relaxed confidence they need, but stay aggressive from start to finish. So well done. Really extraordinary work on this routine because they have to be tough, not just beautiful. Every single element, they can't afford to give anything away.
Emily Gaskins now up for Alabama, the junior from Coral Springs, Florida.
She upgraded this first pass to a double layout. So this is an E element, very difficult. Emily has beautiful dance skills. Look at that Y turn into the wolf jump. When she does these leaps with full energy, they are gorgeous. Very difficult switch leap to the switch leap half. Front through to a double back, a little short, chest down landing. Beautiful finish with the PK turns and then a dramatic flare on the ending pose. I love the details in this routine. I love the upgrade, this double layout, a little bit soft in the knees.
Ellie Lazzari now up for Florida. Megan Skaggs had a 9.925 for that precision and perfection. Peyton Richards led them off with a 9.875. This is the #1 team in the country on beam.
And Ellie was as close to perfect last week as you can get. She really has all of the qualities for balance beam. Great execution, very difficult triple series. Look how straight her legs are, how high that back leg is on her leaps. As I said, at this point in the season, especially with the top teams, you need to see those that are going above and beyond in the areas of difficulty, amplitude. Are the leaps higher? Are the acro skills higher off the beam? Those are the routines that are going to get the highest scores. That was an excellent balance beam routine. A little hop on that landing, but the work on the beam, so beautiful.
Last week she had a 9.975.
Love that she opens that full out. Just that hop on the landing will be the deduction in the routine.
So after 2 straight 9.75s on floor for Alabama, Sania Mitchell and Emily Gaskins, now comes Shalyn Olson, who does some of the more difficult gymnastics in college. But sometimes that difficulty doesn't necessarily translate to big scores, does it, Kathy?
Well, she's going to open with a double-double, and it's beyond an E move. It should be a super E. We just saw a double layout, which is an E. This is a double back with a twist in each somersault. And she's saying to herself right there, no problem, because she can do this like nobody's been. Oh, deep in the landing, though. There's a few little deductions in her leap. She's not quite in the perfect position with really straight legs and pointed toes. But boy, can she tumble front through to a double back, easy as can be. I mean, it's jaw-dropping difficulty in this routine. This first pass, look at this, even in slow motion, she's fast. She managed to not put those hands down, but kudos to the difficulty for sure, but she did give up a deduction.
Alyssa Baumann, 10th in the NCAA on this event. Ellie Lazzari at a 9.9. So Florida solid so far in their first 3 performances here, the Battle of the Beams.
It's amazing. They have so many in their lineup who are truly capable of a 10-0 on this event because they have all the qualities. They don't have any built-in deductions. Straight legs, pointed toes. Beautiful amplitude. When those hips rise on these leaps and jumps, that's going above and beyond. Floaty front aerial. Alyssa's dance is so crisp, so clear. Very difficult switch leap with a half turn. Now, if she doesn't get ahead of herself and really just stays in the moment in this dismount, finds this landing, it is gorgeous. Oh, shoot! Oh. Just that step back. Oh, sometimes you can want it a little too much. You got to be normal. But there is very little that's just normal in this routine. So many things went above and beyond. As you could see, her hips were just behind her feet on the landing, so she gave up a little bit there at the very end.
4 solid routines for Florida on the beam as we go back to floor. Alonza Cloffer, she's in the lineup tonight. So there was a light lineup change. Shania Adams was expected to be in the floor lineup. She gets the call tonight. Quick reminder what's at stake. Florida wins this, they're the outright SEC regular season champs. If Alabama can win, they will share the title with Florida, as both of these teams will have only 1 loss in the conference.
Wonderful opportunity for this senior to perform on floor.
Jalen Olsen scores in a 9.675. Alabama needs 3 really big scores coming up in the final 3 routines.
Good control on the double back. Little deduction on that first leap, didn't quite hit the shape or keep her form. Nice control on the combination pass. That is always so fun. Energy between her and her teammates. Fantastic finish.
Wow, great.
What a wonderful feeling. I just love the trust that Dana Duckworth had to put her into this lineup, make the call. Look at that. And you can just tell the respect, the feeling they have for each other. And look at her find this landing. Get that chest up, finish strong. Well done.
Scores in for Alyssa Baumann. It's a 9.85. Leah Clapper, a few weeks ago, scored a perfect 10 on beam for Florida. She's in the 5th spot. Once again, Florida competing without Trinity Thomas, the #1 gymnast in the nation.
And Leah is just unflappable on this event. She has become so consistent, loves this anchor spot, loves whatever pressure it brings. Switch loop to split jump.
Florida can clinch the win right now with this routine from Leah Clapper if she can score 9.825 or higher.
I have to say, I think that will do it. She has been a high scorer in this position for Florida all season long. As I said, she has embraced going last, loves the pressure, loves to finish them off strong, and has become so consistent.
Final performer for Alabama on the floor will be Luisa Blanco. Alonza Cloffer had a career-high 9.9 on senior night. And Luisa Blanco in the 5th spot here for Alabama. Although we wait the score for Leah Clapper to see if Florida can already clinch it.
This is such an enjoyable, extraordinary piece of choreography. Elegance in the tumbling form. Little bit of a scoop back, but she even does that beautifully. Excellent control. What a beautiful routine. She was a tiny bit soft in the knees in that final pass, but there are parts of this routine that go so above and beyond, uses her full body in the choreography. It's just beautiful.
Back to Leah Clapper. We said a 9.825 or higher on beam, and it's a 9.85. So Leah Clapper with a 9.85 will seal the victory for Florida even before the final performances. And get this is Savannah Schoenherr, her first career beam appearance. She was in an exhibition routine earlier this year, but because Trinity Thomas is out, she got the anchor spot. What a treat.
And I guarantee she doesn't know it's been clinched. So she's feeling the pressure. Wonderful opportunity for this gymnast, and she is making the most of it. So truly the silver lining of having Trinity Thomas out of the lineups to give Savannah this opportunity, but Florida the opportunity to develop the depth that every team dreams of. What a routine, good for her. Oh, what a feeling.
So Florida severely tested 2 times this year. A couple of weeks ago, they had 4 athletes, including Thomas, out with COVID contact tracing protocols, and the team rallied without some of their star performers. In fact, 37% of their scoring lineup was out, and they still managed to get a victory. And tonight, without Trinity Thomas, in Tuscaloosa, they will get a win tonight as Lexi Graber on senior night will finish it out here for the Crimson Tide.
This is an epic routine, from the music to the choreography. It is Lexi Graber's best routine. Huge pull in. What a performance. And on senior night,
oh yeah,
what a beautiful finish to this meet. I just, makes my heart swell watching these athletes have these moments. They are so special. The fight they have shown all throughout the regular season. It's so nice to see them come out with these special moments for themselves.
And what a challenging season they all had. 8 teams in the SEC conference. They have their conference-only schedule, 64 meets, and only 1 was postponed 1 week. That was LSU Auburn, and they rescheduled it during the bye week. So hats off to these teams, the coaches, administrators, athletic directors, for putting together a spectacular regular season that comes to a close here tonight, with Florida getting their 3rd consecutive SEC regular season title and only the 3rd win in Tuscaloosa in 42 years. The Florida Gators, the 2021 SEC regular season champions, based on their win-loss record, remain undefeated, go 8-0 in the conference this year, their 2nd consecutive undefeated season, and only their 3rd victory in Tuscaloosa in 42 years. So Alabama had the lead by .225, but Florida kept clawing their way back in it. Florida had struggled on the bars in that first rotation, but Florida finished strong on the beam, in the battle of the beams, to win by 0.2 of a point over the 6th-ranked Crimson Tide. Jenny Rowland, who is an undefeated season again, as she did last year. And Luisa Blanco continues this meteoric rise. What a star we're seeing here, Kathy. A 39.7, and look at her scores, all 9.9 and above. She is becoming the it gymnast in collegiate gymnastics with her consistency and elegant performances. Expect her to be one of the challengers for the NCAA championship in April in the all-around. So the SEC Gymnastics Championships, they're just 2 weeks away. This year they'll come to you from Rocket City, Huntsville, Alabama. We'll have both sessions for you live here on the SEC Network on Saturday, March 20th. The action starts with session 1 at 3:30 Eastern and continues with session 2 beginning at 8 Eastern. Both sessions are on the SEC Network. Now, Kathy, let's take a look at the seedings for those 2 sessions in that championship.
So we'll see in the early session of competition, it'll be Auburn, Kentucky, Georgia, and Missouri. And in the final evening session, the top 4 will go Florida, LSU, Alabama, Arkansas. Both sessions, I guarantee, will be on fire because the SEC has had a phenomenal season.
And a wonderful senior night here in Tuscaloosa. Congratulations to all the athletes in the SEC for a spectacular regular season competition. For our entire crew and Kathy Johnson Clark, I'm Mark Connor. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks from Huntsville, Alabama.